Hey guys, if you like the content, please be sure to like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, doing another Born of the Gods draft. Just want to remind you to check out the SeemsGoodMagic.com card giveaway. It's a weekly series I do, and all you have to do is leave a comment on the video, like and subscribe it, and you get a chance to win a card from me completely free. So check that out. I encourage you. I enjoy reading those answers, so please do that. Okay, on to the pack. The rare here is Faded Infatuation. And, alright. So, Faded Infatuation is like a Cackling Counterpart. A little harder to cast. It's a cool spell. I do think it's cool. Is there anything that's insane in this pack? Not especially. There's some bestow guys that are okay. This guy's decent. Rise of the Challenge is decent. Let's take the interesting pick. I want to try Faded Infatuation out. I like the idea of it. It's pretty deep blue, admittedly, but we're in Swiss, so let's try some weird stuff. Weird and wild stuff. Alright, so we've got Servant of Timurit, Grave Robber, Spider, Nullify is cool. Let's see, Crone Skyguard. Decent cards in here, all around. I do like the Servant. It feels a bit early for it. I like the idea of Ghostblade Eidolon. I feel like that can take a game over. That might just be the strongest card in the pack. I mean, Nullify's cool. I don't know how much. I don't know exactly how I feel about counterspells yet in this format. I've played Nullify before, and it's okay. Let's take the Ghostblade. Getting double strike is pretty bomb. I do like the Crone Skyguard a lot, but I don't know. Something about Ghostblade Eidolon makes me happy. I like surprise double strike. I think that's really what it is. Alright, Raised by Wolves. You know, I wanted to try this card out. I think it's cool. Get a couple wolves, make your guy bigger by 3. I feel like you're getting a lot for 5 mana. Otherwise, what else is good in here? Asphyxiate is decent removal. Fearsome Temper's good. Dreamfinder's fine. Eye Gouge, little combat trick. I think it's definitely Raised by Wolves. That's the strongest here, so if not Asphyxiate. But let's try out the Raised by Wolves. I'm certainly intrigued by that card. Okay, so now we've got Skirmisher, who's good. Dawn to Dusk, which I still like. Currently have 2 cards that it affects, so I'm digging that. I think we want the Skirmisher, though. Not just because it's foil, but because it's actual cool card. I think it's got some good value on it. Traction Helix, good with Inspired, but in addition to that, it's actually just a fine combat trick. I guess, I mean, I could take the Helix here instead of the Skirmisher, start going more for the Faded Infatuation, but I think Eidolon's probably just as good. I mean, it's hard to compare these two because they're so different, you know? But let's take the Skirmisher. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to be upset with that. Alright, so now we can do Course of the Tides. If I stay on blue-white, what's this do again? Plea for Guidance. I mean, I think it's just a bit too expensive, unfortunately, but it does get you stuff. Stratus Walk's kind of cool. I think that card's legit. But it's either, I think, Chorus of the Tide or Nyxborn Shieldmate. And Shieldmate's going to be good if we can get some more heroic. Excoriate's also removal. And I do like removal. This is not my favorite removal, though. It's like a more expensive Assassinate. I don't know. I think we're actually going to go with the Excoriate, just in case I'm short on removal. Okay. I've got Great Heart, Kragma Butcher, so we've got some decent red cards in here. Wayfinder would be good if we see Nemesis Immortals in the next 2 packs. Is red open? Are people forcing me to do red-white here, or what? I mean, I can take the Butcher. Alright, I guess we take Kragma Butcher. I mean, it's the best card remaining in the pack. Okay, so now we've got some good cards, good choices again. Chorus of the Tides, blue-white, Mortal's Ardor. I mean, we're likely just white, so we can safely take Mortal's Ardor. But I'd probably take Nyxborn Shieldmate over it. Probably. I like the permanent buff more. Plus another dude. Stratus Walk's fine. I guess we can take Shieldmate. I do like Chorus of the Tides, though. I think I'm going to take the Shieldmate. Okay, so now we can take another Excoriate. We can take Elite Skirmisher, Dose. We can take Dawn to Dusk, his Rise to the Challenge. So second Excoriate or Elite Skirmisher. I think I like the Skirmisher more. Excoriate's just something about it, bugs me. Sunbond. This card's not very good, is it? No. Not that good. Crypsis is cool. I like the idea of this card. I mean, Dreamfinder's fine. It currently brings back some stuff. I guess we're taking the Rise to the Challenge since it's probably the best card remaining in here. It's a late Snake of the Golden Grove. Reckless Reveler is playable, though. I mean, I honestly did not want to... I'm not trying to force red-white here. I feel like it's what's coming to me, though. I actually really wanted to either play Raised by Wolves or Faded Infatuation, but... does not appear to be as simple as that. Alright, I guess we can take the Dreamfinder now. I mean, I'm surprised to see it go that late. I really don't think it's a bad card. I don't like the Sun Chaser all that much. Then again, I don't like the Great Heart all that much either. Alright, I guess we can take the Sun Chaser over that. Lightning Volley is probably not super playable, but whatever. Alright, so kind of a weird pack one. Not trying to force red-white, but it seems like we're kind of being pushed into it here. So if we are, perhaps the favorite Hoplite is the pick. Otherwise, we've got some decent green guys in here. 2 Prowler's Helm, oddly enough. Dragon Mantle. Yeah, I think we're just taking the Hoplite. Seems like the correct pick. Probably wheel one of these Prowler Helms and I'll be okay with that. Okay, let's take the Hoplite. Alright, choices now. Cyclops, Fanatic, Titan Strength, Raider. I don't think it's Raider, so it's Cyclops, Strength, Fanatic. How many red permanents? Not that many. Cyclops is a great win con. Big fan of that card. Currently have 9 creatures. I probably just want the Titan Strength. Already have a few heroic guys, so this is one of the better targeted instants you can get. I mean, if you're in red, you can really play as many Titan Strengths as you want. Okay. I mean, for being forced into red-white, at least I'm getting hooked up with some good cards. I think we're just going to take the Magma Jet over the God's Willing. I do love God's Willing, but I'd rather have access to the removal. That scries. Good green cards in here. Looks like green's a little bit more open from this direction. But I think at this point we've solidified ourselves into some red-white. Alright. Let's take the jet. Oh, alright. Well, there's a lightning strike. Not going to pass that. Pegasus and Observant Alcid in here too, both of which I like. But quite obviously the lightning strike. Alright. Cool. Coordinated Assault. Happily take that. Wow, foil Steam Augury, that's cool. Yeah, I think we want the Ordeal. Also, wouldn't mind the Pegasus, but currently Pegasus doesn't have much value. I guess it's good with the Skirmishers, it's good with the Hoplite and the Shield Mate. So we do actually already have enough guys to make the Pegasus good, but I think Ordeal is going to be a little more brutal off a turn 1 Hoplite. So we need at least 6 more creatures. So now I guess I'm probably good on tricks. Assault, Strength, Shield Mate buffs, Rise, Ordeal. So I'm good in terms of tricks probably for the most part. So let's focus on some creatures. Let's see. Guess we'll take the Evader. Okay. Now we can do Rambler or we can do Crusader. I think with the amount of tricks we have, we can probably safely make Crusader work. Additionally, if we table one of those Pegasus, I'll be happy. So Prowler's Helm versus Dragon Mantle. I think we got to go Mantle. I actually do want a Prowler's Helm, and they're both in here. But I think Dragon Mantle's just too much in line with what we're doing. Alright. Raider I'll happily take. We're actually in dire need of more cheap creatures. Like, preferably I don't want to play Griffin or Dreamfinder. I am intrigued by Lightning Volley though. I think if I had enough creatures I have no problem playing Lightning Volley, but currently not that good. Alright, let's take the Portent. Could potentially play that. The deck looks okay. Like I said, I really need to focus on creatures here because we are a bit short. Peak's good sideboard. We'll hate a Scourge Mark. Alright, so last pack here. Really just need to make sure we get enough creatures, and we're going to be fine, I think. I like our spell suit a lot. Oh, well, that's good news. Alright, so we're taking a Fabled Hero. Can't ask for much better than that. Besides an Anax and Siamede or something, but no, Fabled Hero is actually fantastic for this deck. Observant Alcid, Hopeful Eidolon, both also good. See if we can table one of those. That would be ideal. Alright, so choices now. God's Willing, Lagana Band Elder, Crone Crusader. Currently have 14 creatures. Let's start cutting creatures I'm probably not going to play though. So low power creatures I would prefer to cut. I mean, I could just slam the Lagana Band Elder here because I said I need more creatures, which is true, but God's Willing is pretty good. I think I'm just a bit too short on creatures though. This is so good, though. God's Willing is so good. I guess I'm more concerned that if I don't end up with enough creatures, this deck really falls apart. So let's let's cut some of the fat out of here. Like, I don't want to play either of these. So we're really at like 12 creatures. I mean, both of those 5-drops are pretty underwhelming. We can take Flame Speaker here over the second Lagana Band Elder. I mean, we've got the Strength, we've got Jet. Is that it for Scry? Thought we maybe had more than that. Oh, and Portent, I guess, but whatevs. All right, let's just take the Flame Speaker. All right, cool. Can take a Wingsteed Rider here. Definitely doing that over the second Titan Strength. Of course, I'd love the Titan Strength, but we're in need of more creatures, and this one's actually could not be a more perfect fit for this deck, in my opinion. I guess we can take the Divine Verdict. It's likely better than Excoriate. But it's also likely better than Lightning Volley in this deck too, since we just don't have that many creatures. Raptor is just, I don't know. Alright, so now we can do Two-Headed Cerberus or Traveling Philosopher. We are short on 2-drops. Temple of Silence is probably playable as just like a Scry, but we're definitely doing a creature. Alright, so I think the Cerberus is probably just what we want over the Philosopher. Although we do already have a lot of 3-drop creatures, and we only have, what, 3 2-drops? I think for curving purposes it might be wiser to take the Philosopher, but Cerberus is so good with this Titan Strength and the Dragon Mantle and the Ordeal. I think even still, I think we just take the Philosopher. Let's keep the curve down. Let's just load up on creatures. Wow, that's good news. That's cool. All right. Priest or Fleet Feather Sandals. Sandals probably unnecessary, but then again, so is Priest. All right, let's take Priest, I guess. Bronze Sable. Possibly play it if we need it. Crusader Dose. Alright, this deck definitely could have used one of those Cavalry Pegasus. I'm going to have to go look and see what I picked over them. I think I picked just good, solid tricks over them. But I actually can't remember now. Don't need a second Priest, so I guess we'll just hate a, I don't know, Steed maybe. Well, that's a good sign. Cerberus late. Alright. Well, deck actually looks like it came together really nicely. We've got enough stuff to do. We've got enough heroic guys. Certainly have enough tricks. Got enough removal. This deck looks good. Considering I was backed into a red-white corner, this deck looks really good. I don't really care if my opponent plays Blood Toll Harpy, because I feel like it just punishes them too much, so I guess we can take the Guardians, because it gets them more to the late game. Second to last pick, Lash of the Whip, is really surprising, since the card is removal and totally playable in black, so that's a little bit surprising. But, yeah, I'm going to be able to make a good deck. Question is, what are we going to do? What exactly do we want to do? I don't know yet how I feel about Portent of Betrayal. I don't know how I feel about Lightning Volley. So this is 30 cards with 18 creatures. Alright. Let's cut the Portent. That's usually an easy cut, easy card to sideboard into. Let's cut... Are these all creatures, really? Jeez. I mean, the Sable is certainly underwhelming, but we're aggressive, so I like to have a lot of early stuff. That being said, I guess we do have enough early stuff. We probably don't need to play the Sable. And I would rather play the Sunchaser, because I like the evasiveness. And the Raider, because it's got the 3 toughness. Makes sense, since we have so many tricks. I think I'm still cool with Double Crusader because of the Ordeal and the Titan strengths. This feels like a 20 or a 16 land deck, excuse me. The only 6 drop we have is this if we bestow it, and it's certainly not impossible to get to 6 with 16 lands. Do I want to play the Lightning Volley? I like the idea of the card. Since we're so aggressive, it's something that like rewards us for building up a board, and then we top deck it and we're like, oh, okay, play it, deal, you know, Lava Axe or whatever, or kill your board and then get in. So I do actually like the idea of Lightning Volley in here. Perhaps I actually like this more than I like the idea of Excoriate. Excoriate doesn't strike me as a particularly good card in this deck. Since we're trying to attack in, I don't see a lot of opportunities where they're going to have tapped guys. So I actually do like the idea of Lightning Volley more than that. What else can be cut, though? I don't want to cut any of these. I really like... Our 1 and 2 drop tricks are absolutely phenomenal. These are all very, very strong. Kill spell, trick, out of control, buff. Same with these. This thing's cool. Yeah, so none of these are getting cut. I think I'm still cool with... I don't think we're cutting any of our spells, which means we'd have to cut... I guess we'd have to cut 3 creatures. So if we're cutting 3 creatures, then Lightning Volley becomes a lot more awkward. So that being said, I think we will cut the Lightning Volley. Because otherwise, like I said, if I cut 3 more creatures and I have 14 creatures, then I don't want to play the Lightning Volley. And this way I can cut 2 more creatures, have 15, and keep all of these spells, and probably be happy. So what creatures am I cutting? What are the weakest ones? And that, my friends, is actually a legitimate question. Perhaps one of my 1 and 2 drops is weak. I think I like all of my 3 drops. Although, I mean, Lagana Band Elder's not... He's the most underwhelming of our 3 drops. I like the Adept and the Kragma Butcher more. Certainly like the Skirmishers more. Okay, why don't we cut an Elder? And then I think we either cut a Crusader. But with the amount of buffs I have, I don't know if I like that. Because it's turn 1 Crusader, turn 2 Ordeal is... That's a big game. That is big. Certainly not cutting a Hoplite. I mean, I could cut the Sunchaser. I feel like he's not great. He evades, which is cool. It's just... he seems really underwhelming. So does Crusader, though. So, it's probably a Sunchaser or a Crusader. And since we have 2 Crusaders, maybe for diversity's sake, I cut a Crusader so I still have a Sunchaser. But maybe for curving, I really want to make sure I slam one of these on turn 1. I mean, these are such terrible late game draws. Let's cut a Crusader. Guess I'd rather have the evasiveness and diversity a little bit. So really we have 7 creatures we're playing turn 1 or 2, and then all the rest is on turn 3. This is a bit awkward deck just because I feel like we wanted to have a little bit more going on in the creature department early on. But whereas our creatures are just a bit slower than I'd like, our spells are crazy good, so that part makes me happy, I guess. Let's see the colors again. So we're more red than white. 9-7. Still need double white. We need double white more than we need double red. Maybe we just do 8-8 split. But we don't want to get flooded in here too, because we do once again top out at 4. We're mostly just a 1-2-3 deck. So I do think it's 16 lands. I don't think that's wrong. But I think I need to see both early. Yeah, I mean, this deck's okay. Spell suit is like a 9 out of 10. Creature suit's like a 6.5 out of 10, 7 maybe. It's not that we have bad creatures, it's just the curve on our creatures is not ideal. Just a little bit 3 heavy. But that's okay. Yeah, this deck is certainly good enough to win. So, alright, I'll see you guys round 1.